Third piece of advice that made a lot of sense, now that I think about it, doesn't really ring true to me. Be careful what you wish for. You know, that kind of goes along with money doesn't matter, a variety of other things. I'm exactly the opposite. I would say do more wishing. Think carefully, but be specific. People say, I want stability in life. That's not a wish. That's a state of mind. You want to be stable for what? Stability for your family? That's an important goal. A rich family. Stability for God, so you can service the church or be more active in the community, in a nonprofit. That's a different kind of goal. I think, you know, there's an interesting quote was Bill Gates. Someone asked, you know, what's your next goal? When is the finish line for you? And he's not the most prolific speaker, but I thought it was interesting, his response. And he looked at the interview and he says, if I had a concept of a finish line, don't you think I would have crossed it by now? Which is kind of true, right? So I think life is about concrete wishes that continually change. What you have to do is be very careful about what you wish for, yes, but be specific and then shape the future. One definition of leadership is a vision of the future that you command assets and resources and people to shape into reality, right? It's kind of an interesting view of the future. If that's a definition of leadership, are you going to lead your own life? A lot of people that I've advised and mentored over the years in their career have no idea what they actually want. Right? They don't know when they describe to me the career goals, it's to get more experience. That's not a career goal, right? Define success very specifically, and then fashion your decisions around attaining that goal, and then set a new one, and set a new one, and set a new one. Just set one broadly, set it specifically, and most important, I think, is as long as a goal is important, but if you don't enjoy the road towards that goal, get off that path. I mean, I really think people don't get off the path quickly enough. We have a saying in my company that I tell every person that manages people: hire slowly and fire quickly. Because if you make the wrong decision about a person, they get embedded in the organization, it causes havoc, and it sets a bad example. And if you be very careful about who you are, and then if you make a mistake, because we're going to make mistakes, get rid of them quickly. I've never wanted to fire someone that didn't get fired, and because we gave them a second chance or a third chance or a fourth chance, it was more painful for that person because they were set up to fail. They were doing things they were not good at, right? And they would continually fail. And it was really bad for the organization. So hire slowly, fire quickly. Do that in your own life, around your own careers, right? I think that if you're going to have pain in your life, and there are certain experiences that are painful, and they're good. My first job out of college was being a strategy consultant. You guys heard of like the kind of Bain, McKinsey strategy consultant? You're a snot-nosed kid out of college. Someone pays $1,600 a day for you to give advice, even though you don't know anything. But you end up working 80, 100 hours a week at this group. I worked at a company called LEK. And you get great breadth, and you meet CEOs of different companies, and it gives you a breadth of industries, from healthcare to telecom, etc. And you learn tool sets, and over a period of 2 or 3 years, and it's like dog years, because you work 7 days a week, and I'm in at 8, and I'll finish up at 4 a.m., and I'm back in at 8. And then, very painful, not enjoyable from a personal lifestyle standpoint, incredibly valuable to me, but I enjoyed it. As twisted as it may sound, I was with a group of incredibly talented people. We're all the same age. Everyone shared a work ethic. They were really bright. And over the years, I've worked with many of the people from my small class, about 28 associates, that I've worked with. And I keep in touch with many of them. And if I can find a role for them, we were bonded by that experience. So as painful as it is, I'd say if you have pain in your careers, make sure it's the right kind of pain. I like sharp, intense pain. I'm the kind of kid that said, my mom's doctor, she said, do you want this medicine, which is a tablet, or do you want this shot? I said, well, what's the difference? She said, well, the tablet takes about 3 or 4 days to work, but the shot, you'll feel a lot better tomorrow. I said, give me the shot. in your careers, think about that. Some things are it may be a little painful, but it's good. And it takes a little bit of judgment to figure out whether it's good or bad good. If that pain becomes a dull pain, you're in trouble. A lot of people that I know are in careers with dull pain, right? It's no longer sharp enough that they need to get out from under it. They've learned to live with it. In consulting, we say that you have the best person, someone spent 2 or 3 years and then moved on. If you end up being a manager, if you end up being a partner, you become very arrogant. Why? You've given so much advice that you actually believe your own advice, but you have never once in your life implemented it. Never once in your life were you around. You say, buy this company. You never managed an acquisition. You never changed the culture. You never had to hire or fire people. You were never accountable for a decision in your life. So people think of you as this guru, but what have you actually done? Your output is a PowerPoint presentation. And that really is it. It's paper. Which is okay if you're an academic and that's what you want to do, right? But if you want to build, if your end goal is not to be a consultant, and some people love accounting, right? They're a controller and audit, and some of you are probably going to go to those careers. If that's what you want, make sure you're wired that way. Make sure you love the process. That pain of the lifestyle is balanced by, I actually enjoy what I'm doing. Because if you don't, get out. Hire slowly and fire quickly for yourself. Fire yourself from a job. And do it fast when you're really unhappy. And I actually someone came to me and wanted to leave our company. And I said, why? He says, well, I'm doing operations. I really want to do marketing. I said, oh, you should leave. In our marketing team, I have no place for you. We need people with 4 years of experience, deep experience. I can't find a place for you. But let me help you find a job. Let me talk to the different agencies. You've done a great job for us. And let me help you in your career and maybe place you with different friends and give you that experience. So I was really happy for her to say, I want to leave. Because I would hate it if she decided that 3 or 4 years later. And she's now 7 or 8 years down a career path. And you don't see this as a young and fungible resource, which you guys are all now. But that's a big responsibility. And I'd love to say that your decisions don't matter right now, but they actually do. They really do. So you got to be careful about it. So that's kind of my good advice, good sounding advice that didn't make sense. I'll give you real quickly, and then I'll open it up to Q&A. The best advice that I think I've gotten over the years. The first one may be non-intuitive, but if you're thinking about a job, spend 2/3 of your time thinking about the company, and 1/3 about your time thinking about the job. Right? Let's say I'll speak from examples from my world, because they're real to me. Let's say you're a developer. And you're a developer at AOL, or you're a developer at Google. Your life is 100% different. The kinds of projects you work on, the ability to be on the cutting edge, the financial remuneration, the respect within the industry, it is very, very different. Being today, AOL may have been hot 7 years ago, right? So a lot of people just think about their job, their salary, etc. I would base any career decision around 2 factors. Number 1, are you surrounded by people that you respect and enjoy? You will be a happier person. If you look around the room, go through your interviews, and you do not see that, run away. I mean, really, life's too short. That sucks. If you think the dating process is a pretty good example of what will happen when you're married. If you're unhappy dating, you will be unhappy married. Right? That's like when I'm in a contract negotiation with a partner. If the contract negotiation is painful, and they think we're going to a solution, I cut it off and I walk away. And they go, what's going on? I say, hey, if it's this much of a pain in the butt just setting it up, what is it going to be like when we're in this contract? I'd rather walk away. And we walk away from funding all the time. Some guy's like, I said, hey, you're kind of manipulative. I would never want to be part of it. I would choose to associate with different kinds of people in my life. So run away.